Well, the federal budget has been tabled, and the focus now turns to whether it will be supported by the NDP. The Conservatives and Bloc Québécois say they do not support the budget. Opposition leader Pierre Poilievre says he takes issue with its nearly $40 billion deficit. Bloc Québécois leader Yves-François Blanchet says he is confident that the budget will pass with the support of the NDP. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh has said that he is undecided. Now, the budget details almost $53 billion in new spending, including more than $8 billion for housing. The projected deficit for this year is just under $40 billion, with no set timeline to balance the budget. The national debt is expected to soar to more than $64 billion by 2028. Ottawa is raising some taxes to pay for the new spending. The budget includes a capital gains tax hike affecting people who make over $250,000 a year. Now, the government says the move will affect less than 1% of Canadians. And for reaction to the latest federal budget, we are joined live this afternoon by federal opposition leader Pierre Poilievre. Thank you for your time. You initially called this Liberal budget wasteful, inflammatory budget, and you and your party will not be supporting it. Inflationary. So what do you make of question period this afternoon, hearing from the Liberals as they continue to push for it, and as well as really what lies with the NDP and leader Jagmeet Singh as far as to support or not support this?
Well, let's put it this way. Ask yourself, who pays? Who pays for the $53 billion of brand new spending? Who pays? That works out to $3,000 for every family in Canada in brand new spending in one budget. You pay. You pay if you are a single mom whose food price is going to go up because the carbon tax on the farmers and truckers that bring food to your home has gone up. You pay because the deficit is driving up interest rates on your mortgage and you might lose your home. You pay if you're a 37-year-old living in mom's basement because Justin Trudeau broke his promise to you that you'd have more affordable housing and then went on to double the cost of homes. You have been paying for too long for him. He has doubled housing costs, driven 2 million people to the food bank, and now he's making everything worse and more costly. It's time to fire Justin Trudeau because you have paid enough.
And you are renewing your call when it comes to a carbon tax election in order to replace the Prime Minister, is that correct?
Yes, and it's very stark. Trudeau plans to quadruple the carbon tax, all the way up to 61 cents a litre. He has the full support of Jagmeet Singh and the NDP. So on the one hand, you'll have the carbon tax coalition of Singh and Trudeau, who want to jack the tax up to 61 cents a litre, drive up your food and heating bills, or the common sense Conservatives who will axe the tax.
Now, you mentioned when it comes to housing, because of course that was a large portion of the budget that was tabled, you actually brought up Prime Minister Trudeau's 2015 platform in question period this afternoon, and essentially mentioning that it's been 9 years and that Canadians have not seen much of a difference. What is your take then when it comes to what needs to be done with the housing affordability crisis that we have in our country?
Well, my take is that he promised yesterday what he promised 9 years ago. The same promises, the same programs, and the same billions of dollars of bureaucracy that have doubled the cost of housing since he took office are not going to fix the problem he created. Rather, we need a common sense plan to build the homes. We have the fewest homes per capita in the G7, even though we have the most land, the most lumber, and we spend the most money on home building. Why? Because of bureaucracy. It takes too long to get building permits, the second slowest in the OECD. And that's why I'm going to require municipalities speed up and lower the cost of permits, free up land to build. They'll be required to permit 15% more home building, including high-density skyrises around every federally funded transit station as a condition of getting money from my government. Furthermore, I will sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land to build, and I will axe the carbon tax to lower the cost of building material transportation so that we can build the homes that you can afford.
Are you confident in Jagmeet Singh that he will support or not support this budget moving forward, which would, of course, trickle into an election if he does not support this?
Let's be honest, Jagmeet Singh is only concerned about his pension. I mean, let's cut the crap, right? He has to wait until January of 2025 to be eligible for a pension. So he's worried that if the election happens and he loses, he won't have a pension. So he's making everyone pay the massive bill of keeping Justin Trudeau around so that he can get to pension eligibility and continue to fund his fancy suits and watches and Beamers. And that's what he's all about. It's a greedy position, but that's what you got with Jag and Justin, a costly coalition that tax your food, punish your work, take your money, double your housing costs, and unleash crime and chaos in your community. But when the carbon tax election happens, you'll be able to elect a common sense government that will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime.
Well, Mr. Poilievre, I want to ask you, for Torontonians who are really Canadians for that matter, that feel like they are struggling currently in our country, what would a country under Pierre Poilievre then look like?
It would look like the country we all knew, where hard work paid off with a powerful paycheck that bought affordable homes and food in safe neighborhoods, where if you went out and earned $1, you'd bring home more of it. Where an immigrant doctor or nurse could take a Blue Seal exam, prove they're qualified, and get to work in our hospitals rather than being stuck in a low-wage job while we wait in line in hospital rooms. It would mean violent criminals would be locked up in jail. Drugs and guns and stolen cars would be blocked at borders and ports so that we could be safe again. It would mean the country that we all knew and that we still love. Let's bring it home.
All right, we will have to leave it there. Federal Opposition Leader Pierre Poilievre, we thank you for your time this afternoon.
Thank you.